14 winning habits for success and prosperity revealed today. Imagine this moment. You've been searching for answers, trying to understand why some people seem to unlock doors to success and prosperity while others remain stuck in cycles of frustration. What if today you could discover 14 winning habits that completely shift your reality? These aren't theories or clichés, they are timeless principles adapted for today's world, for seekers like you, people who want clarity, growth, and results. As your friend and as someone who's walked this path of success and abundance, I want to talk to you straight. No fluff, no wasted words, just what works. Because if you really absorb what we're about to reveal, your life, your mindset, and your results will never be the same. So, let's begin. Topic 1. The power of daily discipline. Every person who has ever achieved true success and lasting prosperity has one habit in common: discipline. Not the kind of rigid, suffocating discipline that makes life feel like a prison, but a living rhythm that creates order out of chaos. When you think about your greatest ambitions, the wealth you want to attract, the freedom you crave, the confidence you dream of radiating, it all comes down to how consistently you can align your actions with your vision. Success is not built in the bursts of inspiration that visit you once in a while. It is built in the quiet, repeated actions you take every single day. Think about it. What would happen if, for just 1 month, you committed to waking up with purpose, practicing gratitude, reading something uplifting, and taking one deliberate step toward your goal? Just 1 month of such discipline would already put you ahead of the majority, because most people spend their mornings in distraction, their afternoons in autopilot, and their nights in regret. Discipline, however, transforms ordinary hours into extraordinary building blocks of prosperity. When you train your mind and body to follow through, even when you don't feel like it, you create a new standard for yourself. You stop waiting for motivation to knock on your door, and you begin living as the kind of person who acts with purpose regardless of mood or circumstance. That is the hidden secret. Discipline breeds freedom. Freedom to choose your path instead of reacting to life's chaos. Freedom to accumulate wealth because your financial habits are consistent. Freedom to enjoy success because you created the structures that allowed it to flourish. Discipline doesn't mean rigidity. It means creating flow. Imagine a river. If it has no banks, the water spills everywhere, and the energy is wasted. But when the river is guided, its force becomes powerful, unstoppable, and directed. That is discipline. Your personal banks, channeling your energy into results instead of dispersing it into distractions. Discipline is not about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up consistently. Even small, disciplined actions accumulate into massive transformation over time. Think of a single drop of water, insignificant on its own, yet powerful enough to carve valleys when repeated endlessly. That is the invisible strength of discipline. It builds momentum in silence until the results become undeniable. When you honor your commitments, even the smallest ones, you begin to trust yourself. And this self-trust is the foundation of confidence. Too many people break promises to themselves and wonder why their self-esteem is weak. But when you practice daily discipline, you send a message to your mind and soul: I can rely on me. That is priceless. What makes discipline magical is how it compounds across different areas of life. When you master discipline in your health, you gain energy for your career. When you stay disciplined with your finances, you reduce stress and open space for abundance. When you apply discipline in your relationships, trust deepens and bonds grow stronger. Every act of discipline echoes beyond the moment. It reshapes your entire life. Discipline is also freedom disguised as structure. When you plan your days with intention, you eliminate the chaos that wastes time and energy. Instead of reacting to life, you lead it. This quiet control is what transforms scattered effort into consistent results. Discipline is the invisible architect of your destiny. When you align your daily actions with your vision, even if the steps seem small, they accumulate into monumental change over time. Many people underestimate the compounding power of consistent effort, yet history proves that those who succeed are not always the most gifted, but the most disciplined in their habits. True discipline also frees you from the burden of constant decision-making. Instead of wasting energy debating what to do each day, you create routines that guide you automatically toward growth. This automation allows you to channel mental energy into creativity, problem-solving, and vision-building, activities that elevate prosperity. Discipline is also a declaration of identity. When you choose to act consistently toward your goals, you're telling yourself and the world, "This is who I am." Over time, this identity becomes unshakable, and people begin to recognize you as someone dependable, trustworthy, and capable. That reputation opens doors to opportunities that others miss. Beyond personal achievement, discipline has a ripple effect on everyone around you. Your family, friends, and colleagues witness your commitment, and many are inspired to raise their own standards. In this way, your daily discipline not only builds your prosperity, but also sparks growth and transformation in others. Look at the most prosperous individuals you admire. They may have different talents, different backgrounds, and different opportunities, but the thread that ties them all together is their commitment to daily discipline. They wake up with intention. They know their priorities. They don't let external noise dictate their inner state. They take small but consistent actions that compound into enormous success over time. And here is the beautiful paradox. Once discipline is integrated into your life, it no longer feels like a burden. It feels like empowerment. It feels like certainty. It feels like the foundation upon which every other habit can be built. Because once you master discipline, you can master wealth building, mindset shifting, relationship growing, and opportunity creating. So if you want success and prosperity to reveal themselves in your life, begin here. With the power of daily discipline. Create your rhythm, honor your commitments, and watch how life responds by delivering clarity, confidence, and abundance in return. Topic 2. The mindset of abundance. At the core of prosperity lies a simple but powerful truth. You cannot create wealth while clinging to a mindset of scarcity. If you believe there is never enough money, never enough opportunities, never enough time, you unconsciously close the very doors that lead to growth. Prosperity begins not with what you have, but with how you think about what you have. When you shift your focus from lack to abundance, from fear to possibility, from limitation to expansion, you awaken a force within that begins to magnetize wealth and success into your life. Think of it this way. Two people may face the exact same challenge. One sees it as a wall, the other sees it as a doorway. The one who sees limitation stops, complains, and resigns themselves to failure. The one who sees opportunity searches, learns, and grows. Which of the two do you think prospers? The difference is not external, it's the mindset. Your thoughts are the soil from which your future grows. Plant seeds of abundance, and your reality will reflect it. An abundance mindset doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending life is always easy. It means trusting that even in difficulties, there are lessons, solutions, and hidden treasures waiting to be revealed. It means training your mind to search for the possibility in every situation instead of getting trapped by fear. And the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Over time, opportunities begin to appear out of nowhere, but in truth, they were always there. You just couldn't see them while focused on scarcity. Look around your life right now. There are already signs of abundance. The air you breathe, the knowledge you can access, the connections you have, the chances waiting to be claimed. When you recognize these gifts, you raise your frequency. And when your frequency rises, you align with people, events, and ideas that match prosperity. Abundance is not about luck. It is about alignment. An abundance mindset doesn't mean ignoring scarcity. It means refusing to let scarcity define you. Scarcity says, "I can't." Abundance says, "How can I?" One closes the door, the other begins the search for possibility. And every time you choose abundance, you train your brain to look for solutions rather than problems. When you live with an abundance mindset, generosity flows more naturally. You stop clinging tightly to every resource because you know more is always on its way. You share knowledge, opportunities, and encouragement, and in turn, life mirrors this generosity back to you. The more you give, the more proof you receive that abundance multiplies when it circulates. The beauty of abundance thinking is that it changes your emotional state. Instead of feeling anxious, you feel hopeful. Instead of being drained by fear, you're fueled by creativity. This shift in energy doesn't just change your inner world. It attracts people, circumstances, and breakthroughs that align with prosperity. Abundance is both a mindset and a magnet. An abundance mindset also changes how you view competition. Instead of seeing others as threats, you see them as proof that success is possible. Their wins remind you that prosperity is available to everyone, including you. An abundance mindset is also about trusting the flow of life. When you stop obsessing over scarcity, you begin to notice doors opening in unexpected places. Suddenly, opportunities appear where before you only saw limits. This shift in awareness is not coincidence. It is your new mindset directing your focus toward possibility. Living abundantly also creates emotional freedom. Instead of being trapped in anxiety over what you lack, you feel empowered by what you already have and confident in what you can create. That freedom strengthens resilience, helps you make better decisions, and allows prosperity to grow without the weight of fear. Abundance also shifts the way you handle setbacks. Instead of seeing failure as the end, you recognize it as a seed for future growth. This attitude allows you to extract lessons and apply them immediately, ensuring that every challenge becomes a stepping stone toward greater prosperity. Another powerful aspect of abundance is collaboration. When you see life through a lens of "there's more than enough," you stop competing destructively and start creating partnerships. These alliances often accelerate success faster than individual effort ever could. The wealthiest, most successful people on Earth are not those who constantly ask, "What if I lose everything?" but those who ask, "What else can I create?" Their vision is not trapped by fear of losing, but fueled by excitement of building. And this is why abundance multiplies in their lives. So the invitation is clear. Begin cultivating the mindset of abundance today. Each time you catch yourself thinking in terms of lack, pause, breathe, and ask, "What opportunity am I not seeing yet? What possibility is hidden here?" With practice, your mind shifts, your words change, your energy elevates, and your reality follows. That is how prosperity reveals itself. Not as something you chase, but as something you attract by becoming a person who thinks abundantly. Topic 3. The habit of clear vision. Success and prosperity are never accidents. They are the result of clarity, of knowing exactly what you want and why you want it. Without vision, even the greatest amount of effort can scatter into meaningless activity. But with vision, every step you take aligns with a bigger picture, and your life gains direction, momentum, and purpose. Imagine trying to navigate without a map. You might move, but where would you end up? That's what happens when people live without clear goals. They wake up, go through routines, handle tasks, but deep down, they feel lost. Vision changes that. It is your inner compass, pointing you toward the life you want to create. And the clearer it is, the stronger its pull. Clarity begins with self-honesty. What do you truly want? Not what society told you to want, not what others expect of you, but what lights you up inside. Many people chase money without asking why, and when they finally get it, they feel empty because the pursuit wasn't aligned with their soul. Vision is not just about accumulation, it's about alignment. Aligning your goals with your values, your actions with your deepest truth. Vision is like light in the darkness. It doesn't eliminate every obstacle, but it shows you the way forward. Without vision, you stumble, waste time, and repeat mistakes. But with vision, even challenges feel purposeful because you know exactly where you are headed. Obstacles no longer stop you. They simply test how badly you want your dream. A clear vision also protects you from distractions disguised as opportunities. Not every invitation, project, or idea is meant for you. When you know your vision, you can say no with confidence because you're already committed to a greater yes. This ability to focus only on what aligns with your vision accelerates progress and prevents burnout. The act of refining your vision is ongoing. As you grow, your desires may shift, and your clarity must expand with them. Don't fear adjusting your vision. Embrace it as part of evolution. The key is never to drift without direction, but to update your compass so that your journey remains aligned with your truth. Vision gives meaning to sacrifice. When you clearly know what you're working toward, even difficult choices feel worthwhile because you understand they are investments in your future rather than losses. Clear vision acts as an anchor in turbulent times. When challenges arise, your vision reminds you why you started and keeps you moving forward, even when conditions seem unfavorable. Without that guiding image, it's easy to lose hope. or shift aimlessly from one thing to another. Vision also sharpens your ability to prioritize. With a defined target, you naturally align your time, energy, and resources toward what truly matters. This prevents you from wasting effort on distractions that don't bring you closer to your goals, ensuring that your path to prosperity remains direct and effective. A clear vision doesn't just drive your actions, it shapes your emotions. When your goals are vivid, even tough days feel purposeful. You're able to endure discomfort with grace, knowing that every effort is part of a larger mission that matters deeply to you. Vision also acts as a filter for opportunity. Without it, you may say yes to everything and scatter your energy. With it, you confidently say no to distractions, protecting the clarity and momentum that prosperity requires. When you hold a clear vision, something remarkable happens. Your mind begins to filter reality differently. You notice opportunities that match your dream. You attract people who resonate with your direction. You naturally say no to distractions because you're committed to a higher yes. That is the power of clarity. It simplifies life, and at the same time, multiplies your results. Think about the most successful leaders, entrepreneurs, and creators in history. They all had vision. They saw what didn't exist yet, believed in it, and acted as if it were already on its way. And because of that, they pulled possibilities from the invisible into the visible. Your vision does the same. It takes the intangible dream inside your mind and, step by step, transforms it into tangible prosperity. So here's the habit. Create time daily to refine and reconnect with your vision. Write it down, visualize it, speak it out loud. Let it inspire you to act boldly. And when doubt comes knocking, as it always does, return to your vision, because it will remind you why you started and where you are going. Without vision, you drift. With vision, you direct. And when you direct your energy, your time, and your focus towards something meaningful, success and prosperity are no longer distant. They become inevitable. Topic 4. The energy of positive thinking. Your mind is a generator of energy, and every thought you entertain sends out a frequency that shapes your experience of reality. Positive thinking is not about denying difficulties or pretending problems don't exist. It is about consciously choosing the perspective that empowers you instead of the one that drains you. When you learn to direct your thoughts toward solutions, growth, and possibility, you unlock a power that multiplies success and prosperity in your life. Have you noticed how two people can face the same situation, yet one spirals into negativity while the other rises with determination? The difference is not in the event, but in the lens through which they interpret it. Positive thinkers ask, "What can I learn? How can I grow? What is the hidden opportunity here?" Negative thinkers, on the other hand, trap themselves in cycles of blame, fear, and stagnation. Which of these do you think attracts prosperity? Positive thinking is not a shallow affirmation repeated without conviction. It is the practice of training your inner dialogue. Your words to yourself matter. If you constantly say, "I can't," "It's too hard," "It's impossible," you reinforce walls in your mind. But when you begin to speak differently, "I will find a way," "I am learning," "This challenge is shaping me," you create mental pathways toward solutions. This shift doesn't just make you feel better. It reprograms your subconscious, aligns your emotions with your actions, and opens your perception to new opportunities. Science has shown that positive emotions expand our awareness, increase creativity, and enhance problem-solving. Spiritually, positivity raises your vibration and attracts matching experiences. In practical life, it builds resilience. When others give up, you keep going. When setbacks come, you transform them into stepping stones. And when success appears, you are ready to receive it with gratitude instead of fear. Positive thinking creates a foundation for resilience. When setbacks come, and they always do, it's your positive perspective that decides whether you collapse or continue. A positive thinker sees obstacles as temporary, not permanent. They say, "This is a challenge I will overcome," instead of, "This is who I am." That difference shapes destiny. The habit of positive thinking also affects your physical state. Your body responds to your mind. Studies prove that positive thinkers enjoy stronger immunity, faster recovery, and better overall health. It's not magic, it's biology. Your thoughts directly influence hormones, energy levels, and even your longevity. Success and prosperity are sustained by a strong body, and positivity nourishes it daily. Beyond personal benefit, positivity is contagious. When you radiate optimism, people are drawn to you. Opportunities come more easily because others trust and enjoy your presence. Your positive energy can inspire teams, heal relationships, and even create movements. This ripple effect multiplies prosperity far beyond your own life. Positive thinking doesn't remove all obstacles, but it makes you stronger than them. It creates an inner certainty that no matter what happens, you will find a way forward, and that belief alone changes outcomes. Positive thinking strengthens the bridge between imagination and action. When you believe in the possibility of success, your brain becomes more willing to search for solutions and your body more willing to take risks. This mindset transforms fear into courage, which is the fuel behind every great achievement. The practice of positivity also enhances relationships. People are drawn to optimistic individuals because they feel energized and inspired by their presence. As your network strengthens through positivity, new partnerships and collaborations emerge, each one expanding your potential for prosperity. Positive thinking also changes the way you respond to criticism. Instead of feeling attacked, you view feedback as a tool for growth. This mindset keeps you open, adaptable, and always improving, qualities that directly translate into long-term success. Additionally, positivity has measurable effects on creativity. When your mind is hopeful, you see connections others overlook. These flashes of insight often lead to breakthroughs in business, relationships, and personal growth that amplify prosperity. The greatest leaders, innovators, and creators in history all had an unshakable commitment to positive thinking. They knew that their mind was either their greatest asset or their greatest enemy. By mastering the art of positive focus, they magnetized prosperity, built empires, and inspired millions. So make this your habit. Every time negativity arises, pause and shift. Replace fear with trust, doubt with determination, complaint with gratitude. Over time, positivity becomes second nature, and when it does, success and prosperity will no longer be struggles to chase. They will be natural outcomes of the energy you radiate. Topic 5. The habit of taking decisive action. Prosperity doesn't wait for those who hesitate. It rewards those who decide, commit, and move forward. One of the greatest traps that keep people from success is overthinking. They analyze every angle, wait for the perfect moment, and in doing so, they lose momentum, energy, and opportunities. The truth is that clarity often comes through action, not before it. When you act, you learn. When you move, doors open. When you decide, the universe responds. Think about the times in your life when you hesitated too long. Did the opportunity remain waiting for you, or did it pass to someone else who was willing to take the risk? Successful people are not necessarily the smartest, the richest, or the most talented. They are the ones who move quickly, who test ideas, who learn as they go, and who are not paralyzed by fear of failure. They understand that action creates feedback, and feedback creates growth. Decisive action doesn't mean recklessness. It means confidence. It means you trust yourself enough to take a step, even if you don't see the whole staircase. It means that instead of being frozen by the unknown, you embrace it as part of the journey. Every successful entrepreneur, leader, and creator will tell you that their breakthroughs came not from waiting, but from moving, adjusting, and persevering. When you take decisive action, you send a powerful message to your subconscious. I am serious about my goals. And that message changes the way you see opportunities, challenges, and even yourself. Suddenly, you begin to notice paths that were invisible before. People show up to help, ideas flow, circumstances align. Not because luck magically appeared, but because your action activated the chain of events that leads to prosperity. Indecision is a thief of time, energy, and dreams. Every moment you spend hesitating is a moment you could have spent learning, growing, or moving forward. Decisive action doesn't guarantee immediate success, but indecision guarantees stagnation. And prosperity never belongs to those who stand still. When you act decisively, you also discover your true capacity. You realize you are more capable than you thought, braver than you imagined, and more resourceful than you believed. Action reveals strengths hidden beneath hesitation. Each bold step expands your identity, into someone who is powerful, capable, and worthy of prosperity. Action also creates momentum. One step leads to another, and soon the path that looked overwhelming becomes manageable. Prosperity doesn't require giant leaps. It requires steady movement. Decisive action transforms dreams into plans, plans into progress, and progress into results. Every decisive action builds momentum, and momentum is a hidden form of power. Once you're moving, opportunities appear faster, solutions show up more easily, and your confidence multiplies with each step. Decisive action is the antidote to procrastination. While waiting for certainty, many people lose opportunities that never return. The act of stepping forward, even when the path isn't fully clear, creates movement, and movement generates clarity that planning alone can never provide. Taking bold action also redefines your identity. Each time you choose action over hesitation, you reinforce the belief that you are capable and courageous. This self-image compounds into greater confidence, which then makes future decisions easier and more powerful, accelerating the path to success. Each act of decisive action builds your ability to trust yourself. When you follow through, you reinforce the belief that you are reliable and courageous. Over time, this self-trust becomes unshakable, fueling confidence that empowers you to tackle even greater goals. Decisive action also creates a rhythm of progress. Instead of waiting for perfect timing, you learn to move forward consistently. This rhythm compounds into momentum that not only accelerates your results, but also attracts allies who want to be part of your journey. The world is full of dreamers who never act, and therefore never experience the prosperity they desire. Don't let that be your story. Commit to becoming a person of action. Even if your steps are small, take them daily. Momentum builds, confidence grows, and success compounds. So remember, hesitation drains energy, but action creates power. Be decisive, be bold, step forward. Prosperity belongs to those who dare to act. Topic 6. The habit of lifelong learning. Prosperity and success are not static destinations. They are dynamic journeys. The world changes, markets evolve, opportunities shift, and what separates those who thrive from those who fade is the commitment to keep learning. Lifelong learning is more than formal education. It is the daily decision to stay curious, open, and willing to grow. Every new skill you acquire, every book you read, every conversation that expands your perspective adds to the wealth of your mind. And that wealth always precedes material prosperity. Consider this: technology, business, and even human behavior transform at lightning speed. What was valuable yesterday may be obsolete tomorrow. If you resist learning, you resist growth. But if you embrace learning as a habit, you remain adaptable, resilient, and prepared to seize opportunities others can't even see. The most prosperous people are not necessarily those who know the most, but those who are willing to keep evolving. Learning keeps your mind sharp, your creativity alive, and your spirit humble. It reminds you that no matter how much you achieve, there is always more to discover, more to create, more to understand. And this humility is powerful. It keeps you receptive to wisdom, innovation, and collaboration. The moment you think you already know enough is the moment growth stops and decline begins. History is filled with examples of leaders who reinvented themselves because they kept learning. They read voraciously, they asked questions, they sought mentors, they embraced failure as feedback. Their prosperity was not the result of luck, but of a conscious choice to remain students of life. And the same choice is available to you. Learning keeps you relevant in a world that changes daily. Skills that once guaranteed success are quickly replaced by new demands. By staying committed to learning, you future-proof your prosperity. Instead of fearing change, you embrace it as an opportunity to grow ahead of the curve. Lifelong learners also develop confidence. Knowledge reduces fear, because fear often comes from the unknown. The more you learn, the more prepared you feel. And this preparation fuels courage, the courage to start, to try, and to innovate. Prosperity rewards the courageous, and courage is fueled by knowledge. The joy of learning is that it creates compounding returns. One new skill can open countless doors. One idea from a book can spark an entire business. One conversation can inspire a breakthrough. The more you learn, the more you expand your potential, and the more prosperity naturally flows your way. Lifelong learning keeps you humble enough to grow and confident enough to act. It's the perfect balance between curiosity and courage, and that balance creates the kind of prosperity that evolves with time. Continuous learning feeds innovation. By exposing yourself to new knowledge, you combine old ideas with fresh perspectives, creating solutions that others overlook. This creative edge often leads to breakthroughs that generate prosperity in ways you couldn't have predicted. Lifelong learning also builds adaptability. In a world that evolves quickly, those who resist learning fall behind, while those who embrace it stay relevant. Prosperity favors the adaptable, and adaptability is born from the willingness to keep expanding your mind. Lifelong learning also fuels reinvention. Every time you acquire new knowledge, you give yourself the chance to pivot, adapt, and grow in directions that keep you relevant. This flexibility is what allows people to remain prosperous even when entire industries change. Moreover, learning sharpens your perspective on risk. When you expand your understanding, risks become less intimidating because you can assess them with greater clarity. That ability to take smart risks often separates those who stagnate from those who prosper. So, make learning a daily practice. Dedicate time to reading, listening, observing, and experimenting. Don't limit yourself to one field. Explore widely, because insights often come from unexpected connections. And when challenges arise, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What can I learn here?" That shift in perspective alone transforms obstacles into stepping stones toward prosperity. The truth is simple. The mind that keeps learning is the mind that keeps earning. Not only money, but wisdom, influence, and fulfillment. Prosperity follows growth, and growth follows learning. Topic 7. The power of gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most underestimated yet transformative habits for success and prosperity. It may sound simple, just being thankful, but its impact runs deeper than most realize. Gratitude shifts your state of mind, your energy, and even the opportunities you attract. When you practice genuine gratitude, you move out of a mindset of lack and into a mindset of abundance, instantly raising your vibration and aligning yourself with prosperity. Think about this. How often do people focus on what's missing instead of what's present? They count problems instead of blessings, and then wonder why life feels heavy. Gratitude reverses this pattern. It trains your mind to notice the good, to appreciate progress, and to value what you already have. And here lies the paradox. When you appreciate what is, you open the door for more to come. Science supports this. Studies show that gratitude improves mental health, reduces stress, increases resilience, and even enhances physical well-being. But beyond science, gratitude has a spiritual power. It magnetizes blessings. The more grateful you are, the more reasons you attract to continue being grateful. Prosperity multiplies where gratitude is practiced. The most successful people in the world often begin and end their days with gratitude. They write down what they are thankful for. They acknowledge victories, big or small, and they don't take their opportunities for granted. This daily ritual doesn't just make them feel good, it keeps them grounded, focused, and receptive to greater abundance. Gratitude strengthens resilience. When challenges appear, a grateful heart can still find light in the darkness. Gratitude doesn't deny pain. It gives you strength to endure it by focusing on what remains instead of what is lost. That shift makes you unshakable in the pursuit of prosperity. Gratitude also deepens spiritual alignment. When you express appreciation, you acknowledge the flow of abundance already present in your life. This acknowledgement is like tuning your inner frequency to prosperity, making you a magnet for more blessings. The universe always delivers more to those who appreciate what they already have. Most importantly, gratitude transforms the journey itself. Prosperity is not just about the destination. It's about enjoying the path along the way. Gratitude turns ordinary moments into extraordinary ones, making the process of growth as rewarding as the outcome. Gratitude turns ordinary days into extraordinary experiences. By noticing the good that already exists, you find joy in the present moment, which is itself a form of prosperity that money alone can't buy. Gratitude rewires your brain to focus on growth. Neuroscience shows that regular gratitude practices strengthen pathways of optimism, making positivity your natural state. This shift doesn't just feel good, it directly improves your performance, creativity, and problem-solving skills. Living with gratitude also changes the way you pursue goals. Instead of chasing prosperity from a place of lack, you build from a place of fulfillment. This creates a healthier, more sustainable journey, where success is a joyful expansion rather than a desperate chase. Gratitude also strengthens your ability to enjoy success when it arrives. Without it, people often reach their goals only to feel empty. With it, you savor each milestone and build a deeper sense of fulfillment that prosperity alone cannot provide. Another benefit of gratitude is its power to heal relationships. A simple expression of appreciation can dissolve tension, rebuild trust, and create stronger bonds. These healthier relationships often become the foundation upon which long-term prosperity is built. Gratitude also transforms relationships. When you express appreciation to others, bonds strengthen, trust deepens, and collaboration flourishes. Prosperity is not only about money, it's also about connections, harmony, and the quality of your experiences. Gratitude enriches all of these dimensions. So make this a habit. Each day, pause and name 3 things you are grateful for. They can be simple: the roof over your head, the meal on your table, the opportunity to learn something new. With time, this practice rewires your brain to default to abundance instead of scarcity. And when your inner world is abundant, your outer world begins to mirror it. Gratitude is not just a polite gesture, it is a prosperity tool. Use it daily and watch as success, wealth, and joy expand in every area of your life. Topic 8. The power of resilience. Success and prosperity are not built in the absence of challenges. They are forged in the fire of adversity. Life will test you, obstacles will appear, failures will happen. And the difference between those who rise and those who fall is resilience, the ability to adapt, recover, and keep moving forward no matter what. Resilience is not about avoiding difficulties, but about mastering the art of bouncing back stronger every single time. Think of resilience as an inner muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. When setbacks come, most people allow frustration to drain their energy. They see failure as proof that they are not capable, and so they stop trying. But resilient people see setbacks as feedback. They ask, "What can I learn? How can this shape me? What's the next move?" Instead of breaking under pressure, they bend, adjust, and return with greater clarity and determination. Every story of great prosperity is also a story of resilience. Entrepreneurs who built empires went through bankruptcies before they found their formula. Inventors who changed the world failed dozens of times before success arrived. Leaders who inspired nations faced rejection, criticism, and hardship. What made them different was not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of resilience. Resilience transforms pain into power, disappointment into drive, and obstacles into opportunities. It shifts your identity. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and begin to see yourself as a creator who can shape outcomes. And when you adopt this mindset, challenges stop being threats. They become teachers, guiding you toward wisdom and strength. Resilience is not about being unbreakable. It's about being flexible. Just as bamboo bends in the wind but does not break, resilient people adapt to circumstances without losing their core strength. This adaptability is the key to surviving storms and thriving afterward. Resilience also strengthens leadership. People naturally gravitate toward those who remain calm in chaos. When you embody resilience, you inspire trust and confidence in others. This influence opens doors to opportunities, partnerships, and prosperity that only resilience can unlock. Finally, resilience builds faith in yourself. Each time you overcome adversity, you carry proof that you are stronger than your fears. This proof compounds into unshakable confidence, and confidence is one of the most powerful currencies of success. Resilience also teaches adaptability. Instead of rigidly resisting change, you learn to adjust your strategy while keeping your purpose intact. This flexibility makes long-term success inevitable. Resilience transforms fear into wisdom. Each challenge you survive becomes a lesson that strengthens your capacity to thrive in the future. Instead of fearing adversity, you begin to welcome it as training for the greater prosperity you are preparing to receive. Resilience also creates consistency. While others quit after setbacks, resilient people keep showing up, and this persistence compounds into long-term success. In the end, prosperity doesn't reward those who never fall. It rewards those who rise one more time than they fall. Resilience also develops courage. Each time you face difficulty and rise again, you prove to yourself that fear doesn't control you. This inner courage becomes a renewable resource you can rely on, no matter how tough the journey becomes. Beyond individual growth, resilience inspires others. When people see you refusing to quit, they're encouraged to persist in their own struggles. In this way, your resilience multiplies prosperity, not only for you, but for your entire community. To cultivate resilience, you must first change your perspective about failure. Failure is not the end. It is feedback. It is the raw material from which future victories are built. Then, develop habits that keep your energy steady. Practice mindfulness, care for your health, surround yourself with supportive people, and maintain your vision in front of you. These anchors help you stay grounded when storms hit. Remember, prosperity is not for those who never fall. It is for those who refuse to stay down. Resilience is the bridge that takes you from struggle to strength, from setback to success, from temporary defeat to lasting prosperity. Topic 9. The habit of focus. In a world overflowing with distractions, the ability to focus has become a superpower. Success and prosperity don't come to those who scatter their energy in every direction. They come to those who concentrate their time, attention, and effort on what truly matters. Focus is the bridge between vision and reality. Without it, even the clearest dream dissolves into unfulfilled potential. With it, ordinary people accomplish extraordinary things. Focus begins with clarity, but it grows with discipline. It's the habit of shutting out the noise, of saying no to 1,000 little temptations so you can say yes to the work that builds your future. Every notification, every distraction, every unnecessary commitment chips away at your prosperity. But when you train your mind to focus, you multiply the impact of every action you take. Think about how a magnifying glass directs sunlight. Scattered, the rays warm the surface. Concentrated, they ignite fire. Your energy works the same way. If you spread yourself too thin, you'll feel busy but achieve little. If you concentrate, you ignite momentum, breakthroughs, and results. The wealthiest and most successful people are not those doing the most. They are those doing the most important. They understand the Pareto principle. 20% of efforts create 80% of results. They guard their time ruthlessly, protect their energy, and focus on the few priorities that generate prosperity. Focus is not just about productivity, it's about freedom. When you focus, you take control of your mind instead of letting distractions control you. You reclaim time, energy, and attention that would otherwise be wasted. This freedom creates space for prosperity to grow. Focus also creates depth. Instead of skimming the surface of many things, you master the few that matter most. And mastery is what builds authority, influence, and wealth. Prosperity rarely rewards dabblers. It rewards those who commit deeply. Another hidden gift of focus is peace of mind. A scattered mind feels anxious and overwhelmed, but a focused mind feels calm and powerful. Prosperity thrives in a calm mind because clarity and creativity flourish when noise disappears. Focus also preserves energy. By refusing to scatter yourself across meaningless tasks, you conserve your strength for the few actions that create the biggest breakthroughs in your prosperity journey. Focus makes excellence possible. When your attention is scattered, you may touch many things, but master none. Prosperity rewards mastery, and mastery is only built when you channel your focus deeply into your craft, your vision, and your priorities. Focus also reduces stress. By concentrating on fewer, higher-impact activities, you free yourself from the overwhelm of endless multitasking. With clarity and calm, you make better decisions, execute with greater precision, and achieve prosperity with less wasted energy. Focus also magnifies the quality of your work. When you give full attention to a task, the results often surpass what scattered effort could ever achieve. This excellence sets you apart in any field, creating opportunities and recognition that fuel prosperity. Another hidden power of focus is that it sharpens intuition. When your mind is uncluttered, you notice subtle signals and patterns that guide better decisions. This clarity helps you seize opportunities others overlook. Focus also builds confidence. Each time you complete something meaningful, you reinforce your identity as someone capable of achieving. And as you stack these wins, your momentum accelerates. Instead of drowning in unfinished projects, you enjoy the satisfaction of progress and the rewards of results. So, make focus a daily practice. Begin by defining your priorities clearly. Eliminate distractions that pull you off course. Create blocks of uninterrupted time for your most important work, and when your mind wanders, as it inevitably will, gently return it to the task at hand. Over time, this habit rewires your brain for concentration and resilience. Remember, prosperity doesn't come from scattered effort, but from focused energy. Master focus, and you master one of the greatest keys to success. Topic 10. The habit of building strong relationships. Prosperity is rarely a solo journey. Behind every story of great success, you will find a network of people, mentors, partners, friends, collaborators who supported, inspired, and opened doors. Wealth is not only measured in money, but also in the quality of your connections. Relationships are bridges to opportunities, wisdom, and growth. The habit of building strong, authentic relationships is a cornerstone of lasting prosperity. Think about it. One conversation can change the direction of your life. One introduction can open doors to opportunities you never imagined. One partnership can multiply your impact beyond anything you could achieve alone. People are the greatest resource you will ever have, and the way you nurture your relationships will define the level of success you experience. Strong relationships are not built on manipulation or selfish gain. They are built on trust, respect, and genuine care. When you invest in others, listen deeply, and give value without expecting immediate returns, you create bonds that stand the test of time. Prosperity flows through these connections because they expand your influence, strengthen your support system, and amplify your ability to create. History proves it. Every empire, every movement, every groundbreaking innovation was fueled by people working together. Leaders who achieved prosperity did so by surrounding themselves with people who challenged them, believed in them, and helped them grow. Isolation leads to limitation, but collaboration leads to expansion. Strong relationships multiply prosperity through synergy. Alone, your reach is limited. Together with others, your impact expands exponentially. Collaboration creates outcomes no individual could achieve alone, and prosperity always grows faster in community. Relationships also protect you during hard times. A strong network provides guidance, encouragement, and resources when you need them most. Prosperity is not just about wealth. It is also about security, and strong relationships give you a safety net no money can buy. Most importantly, relationships leave a legacy. Money can vanish, but the lives you touch endure. Prosperity is deepest when it outlives you, and strong relationships ensure that your influence continues long after you're gone. Strong relationships remind you that success is sweeter when shared. Prosperity feels empty in isolation, but when celebrated with others, it multiplies in meaning and impact. Relationships multiply resources. A single connection can provide knowledge, funding, or guidance that accelerates your journey beyond what you could accomplish alone. Prosperity often flows through people, and those who invest in relationships always expand their opportunities. Building strong relationships also deepens resilience. When challenges arise, a supportive network becomes your foundation, offering encouragement and perspective that keep you moving forward. True prosperity is not only wealth, it is also the strength of the community around you. Strong relationships also create accountability. When you surround yourself with people who believe in you, you feel naturally driven to honor their trust. This accountability raises your standards and pushes you to achieve more than you would alone. Relationships also create access to wisdom. Every person you connect with brings unique experiences and insights. By building genuine bonds, you gain access to perspectives that save you time, help you avoid mistakes, and expand your capacity for prosperity. To build strong relationships, make it a habit to connect with intention. Reach out to mentors, support colleagues, express gratitude to those who contribute to your journey. And most importantly, be the kind of person others are inspired to trust and respect. Prosperity is not about how many people you know. It's about how many lives you positively impact. Remember, success may start with your vision, but it multiplies through relationships. Wealth is amplified when shared, and prosperity deepens when it flows in connection with others. Build bridges, not walls, and you will find yourself walking paths of abundance that you could never walk alone. Topic 11. The habit of persistence. If there is one quality that separates those who achieve lasting prosperity from those who give up halfway, it is persistence. Talent, intelligence, and opportunity are all important, but without persistence, they crumble under the weight of obstacles. Persistence is the quiet determination to keep going when progress feels slow, when doubts arise, and when setbacks threaten to pull you off course. It is the refusal to quit, even when quitting seems easier. Prosperity is rarely the result of instant success. More often, it is the outcome of countless small efforts, repeated day after day, long after the excitement has faded. Persistence is what keeps you moving when the applause has stopped, when no one is watching, and when results are not yet visible. It is what transforms ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers. History is filled with stories of persistence. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Walt Disney faced rejection after rejection before creating his empire. Oprah Winfrey endured countless setbacks before becoming one of the most influential women in the world. None of them succeeded because it was easy. They succeeded because they refused to give up. Persistence builds character. Every time you push forward despite resistance, you strengthen your inner resolve. Every time you continue after failure, you expand your capacity to handle challenges. And every time you choose persistence over surrender, you send a message to yourself and to the universe. I am unstoppable. That energy attracts opportunities, allies, and breakthroughs that would never appear to someone who quit too soon. Persistence is the antidote to discouragement. Whenever doubts whisper that you should quit, persistence reminds you of your vision. It keeps you anchored in your why, so that temporary pain doesn't make you abandon permanent rewards. Persistence also builds momentum. Every time you refuse to stop, you move one step closer to your goal. The accumulation of these steps eventually breaks barriers that seemed impossible. Persistence turns impossible dreams into inevitable realities. Finally, persistence teaches patience. Success is not just about action, it's about timing. By persisting, you give your dreams the time they need to mature. Prosperity arrives not when you demand it, but when you are prepared to sustain it. Persistence ensures you stay long enough to receive it. Persistence also silences regret. You may not succeed immediately, but by refusing to quit, you'll never look back wondering, what if I had tried longer? That peace of mind is its own form of wealth. Persistence transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Every time you keep moving despite difficulty, you turn resistance into growth. What once felt like a barrier becomes the very training that prepares you for higher levels of prosperity. Persistence also builds credibility. People trust and support those who refuse to quit because persistence signals strength and reliability. This trust often leads to opportunities, partnerships, and recognition that only the persistent will ever receive. Persistence also builds resilience in your character. Each challenge you endure without quitting strengthens your mental toughness, ensuring that future obstacles feel less overwhelming. Over time, this toughness becomes one of your greatest assets. Persistence also earns respect. People admire those who refuse to give up, and this admiration often translates into support, collaboration, and opportunities. In many cases, persistence alone is what opens doors that talent and luck never could. The truth is, success and prosperity take time. Seeds don't sprout overnight, trees don't grow in a week, and dreams don't manifest instantly. Persistence is the bridge that carries you across the gap between planting and harvest. Without it, you give up before the fruits can appear. With it, you endure long enough to see the miracle unfold. So, let persistence become your habit. Decide now that no matter how many obstacles you face, you will keep moving. Adjust, learn, and evolve, but never quit. Prosperity is not for the faint-hearted. It belongs to those who persist until the vision becomes reality. Topic 12. The habit of generosity. True prosperity is not just about what you accumulate. It is also about what you contribute. Generosity is a habit that multiplies wealth, not only in material terms, but also in joy, influence, and legacy. When you give, whether it's your time, your resources, your knowledge, or your encouragement, you create ripples of abundance that always find their way back to you in unexpected ways. Prosperity expands when it flows. Too often, people hold tightly to what they have, afraid that giving will leave them with less. But this is a scarcity illusion. In reality, generosity activates a universal principle. What you give, you receive. It may not always return in the same form, but it always returns, sometimes as opportunities, sometimes as relationships, sometimes as unexpected blessings. Generosity transforms wealth from something stagnant into something alive. Think of the most prosperous people you admire. They are not only known for their success, but also for their contributions. They build foundations, mentor others, create opportunities, and uplift their communities. Their prosperity continues to grow because they understand that wealth is a tool, not a prison. By sharing, they expand their impact and ensure their success benefits more than just themselves. Generosity also shifts your identity. When you give freely, you stop seeing yourself as someone in lack and begin to see yourself as someone overflowing. This shift changes how you approach challenges, relationships, and opportunities. You no longer operate from fear of losing, but from confidence in your ability to create more. That confidence attracts even greater prosperity. Generosity creates connection. When you give, you create bonds of trust and goodwill. These bonds often become bridges to opportunities that money alone could never buy. Prosperity grows through the relationships generosity nurtures. Generosity also multiplies meaning. True wealth is not measured only by what you own, but by the lives you touch. Generosity gives your success purpose, turning prosperity into something larger than yourself. And perhaps most importantly, generosity breaks the grip of fear. When you give freely, you prove to yourself that you trust in abundance. This inner trust dissolves scarcity thinking and makes you magnetic to more prosperity. Generosity shifts your focus from having to being. You stop measuring life only by accumulation and start experiencing the deeper fulfillment of contribution, which enriches prosperity beyond numbers. Generosity creates flow, and flow is the essence of prosperity. When you give, you set wealth in motion, and moving wealth always finds ways to return. Prosperity expands most rapidly when it circulates rather than stagnates. Generosity also builds influence. The more you uplift others, the more people want to connect, collaborate, and support you. This influence extends your reach and multiplies the impact of your prosperity across wider circles. Generosity also develops humility. When you give, you're reminded that prosperity isn't just about you. It's about the role you play in uplifting others. This humility keeps you grounded even as your success grows. At the same time, generosity attracts loyalty. People remember those who helped them along the way, and they often repay generosity with commitment and support. This loyalty becomes a powerful asset in sustaining long-term prosperity. Generosity is not about grand gestures. It's about consistency. A kind word, a moment of listening, a small act of support can change someone's life. And when generosity becomes your habit, you align yourself with the flow of abundance because you are no longer trying to hold on. You are allowing prosperity to circulate through you. So choose generosity daily. Give where you can, with sincerity. Share your wisdom, your encouragement, your resources. Prosperity will not diminish. It will multiply, both for you and for those you touch. Topic 13. The habit of self-reflection. One of the most overlooked habits of successful and prosperous people is self-reflection. In the rush of daily life, most individuals move from one task to another without ever pausing to ask, am I on the right path? Are my actions aligned with my values? Is the way I'm living bringing me closer to the life I truly want? Self-reflection is the practice of stopping, looking inward, and measuring your choices against your vision. Without it, you risk climbing the wrong ladder, chasing goals that don't fulfill you, or repeating mistakes that keep you stuck. Self-reflection is like holding up a mirror to your soul. It allows you to recognize patterns, both the empowering ones and the destructive ones. When you take time to reflect, you gain clarity about what is working, what needs to change, and what deserves more attention. Reflection transforms experience into wisdom. Without reflection, even the greatest opportunities can be wasted because you never extract their lessons. Prosperity is not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. And working smarter requires knowing yourself. Self-reflection reveals your strengths, your blind spots, your fears, and your desires. It empowers you to make better decisions, to align your energy with your highest values, and to adjust your course when necessary. The most prosperous leaders and thinkers throughout history made time for reflection. Some journaled daily, others spent time in solitude or meditation. They understood that silence and introspection are not luxuries, but necessities for clarity and growth. Through reflection, They tapped into creativity, wisdom, and resilience that could not be found in constant activity. Self-reflection prevents burnout. Without it, you may work tirelessly toward goals that don't truly matter to you. But when you reflect, you ensure your actions remain aligned with your purpose, making your pursuit of prosperity both sustainable and fulfilling. Reflection also sharpens decision-making. By reviewing your past choices, you learn what worked and what didn't. This wisdom allows you to act with greater precision, avoiding mistakes and accelerating progress toward success. Most importantly, reflection cultivates self-awareness. And self-awareness is the foundation of mastery. When you know yourself deeply, you stop chasing illusions and start creating a life that is authentic, prosperous, and truly yours. Self-reflection creates alignment between who you are and who you are becoming. It ensures that prosperity doesn't just change your circumstances, but also elevates your character. Self-reflection refines your character. It allows you to measure not just what you're achieving, but who you are becoming in the process. Without reflection, prosperity risks being hollow. With it, prosperity becomes meaningful. It also prevents self-sabotage. By examining your motives, beliefs, and actions, you catch limiting patterns before they destroy opportunities. Reflection ensures that you don't just create wealth, you create it with integrity, alignment, and purpose. Self-reflection also deepens authenticity. By regularly examining your actions, you strip away layers of pretense and align more closely with your true self. This authenticity naturally attracts trust, which is a cornerstone of influence and prosperity. Reflection also helps you celebrate progress. By pausing to acknowledge your growth, you reinforce motivation and remind yourself that you are moving forward. This recognition fuels confidence and keeps you engaged on the path to prosperity. So, build the habit of self-reflection. Set aside moments each day or week to pause and ask meaningful questions. Write down your thoughts, track your progress. Celebrate your growth and confront your challenges honestly. Over time, this practice creates a deeper sense of direction and purpose, ensuring that your path to prosperity is not only successful, but also fulfilling. Remember, without reflection, you may gain the world but lose yourself. With reflection, you gain both the world and a deeper connection to who you truly are. Topic 14. The conclusion: living the code of prosperity. All the habits we explored – discipline, abundance, vision, positive thinking, decisive action, learning, gratitude, resilience, focus, relationships, persistence, generosity, and reflection – are not random pieces of advice. Together, they form a code, a way of living, a blueprint for transforming ordinary existence into extraordinary prosperity. The truth is, prosperity is not a secret reserved for the few. It is a set of principles available to anyone willing to practice them consistently. The journey to success is not about doing everything perfectly from day one. It's about progress, not perfection. When you adopt even one of these habits, you begin to shift your energy, your mindset, and your results. And as you add more, you build momentum that becomes unstoppable. This is how lives change, not in sudden miracles, but in daily choices, aligned actions, and resilient habits that build a foundation for abundance. Prosperity is not a destination you arrive at one day. It's a way of living every single day. Each habit you choose to embrace is like a brick laid on the foundation of your future. Some days will feel effortless, others will challenge you deeply, but every step compounds. Over time, the life you once dreamed about becomes the life you wake up to each morning. Living the code of prosperity also means becoming a light for others. Your discipline inspires, your gratitude uplifts, your generosity multiplies beyond your own circle. True prosperity is never selfish. It radiates outward, creating ripples of abundance that elevate not just you, but everyone you touch. In this way, your personal transformation becomes part of a greater collective awakening. And remember, prosperity is not only measured by wealth or success, it is measured by peace of mind, fulfillment, and joy. When your external achievements reflect your internal growth, you experience wholeness. That is the real victory. That is prosperity at its highest expression. Not chasing, not striving, but living in flow with who you truly are, confident that success, abundance, and meaning are already yours. The code of prosperity is not learned in a single moment. It is lived day by day. Every choice to practice these habits is a declaration that you are shaping a life of meaning, success, and abundance. The Code of Prosperity works because it integrates both inner growth and outer success. When your mindset, habits, and actions align, you no longer chase prosperity. It begins to chase you. That is the moment when abundance becomes effortless. Living this code also ensures that prosperity is sustainable. Quick wins can vanish, but habits rooted in discipline, gratitude, resilience, and generosity create wealth that endures. Prosperity in this form is not temporary. It becomes a way of life. Living the code of prosperity also creates consistency. Instead of chasing trends or reacting impulsively, you anchor yourself in timeless principles that work across any situation. This consistency ensures your growth is sustainable and your success unshakable. Finally, embodying the code transforms prosperity from an external chase into an internal state. You stop waiting for wealth or success to validate you and begin radiating abundance from within. This inner shift is what makes prosperity not just attainable, but inevitable. Your future is not written yet. It is waiting for you to decide. Will you continue repeating the patterns that keep you stuck, or will you embrace the habits that lead to prosperity? The decision is yours, and the moment is now. Each day is a new chance to step into clarity, confidence, and success. When you live the code of prosperity, you stop chasing abundance and start embodying it. And from that state, everything you desire flows naturally to you. If these 14 winning habits spoke to you today, imagine what will happen when you truly apply them in your life. Prosperity isn't waiting for tomorrow. It begins with the choices you make today. So, if you felt inspired, take a moment to like this video, leave a comment sharing which habit resonated most with you, and share this message with someone who needs it right now. And of course, subscribe to the channel, because here, every week, we go deeper into the principles that unlock success, abundance, and prosperity. Remember, you're not just watching a video, you're rewriting your future.